Hello, everyone. Before we begin today's show, we just want to take a moment to extend our just heartfelt sadness out to the Graz community out there in Austria. The current count for people who have died in the mass shooting is 10. By the time you listen to this podcast, that number might be higher based on the folks who are in the hospital. But our hearts just go out to the families, to the victims, obviously, and we just hope that Austria is able to, put some things in place to ensure that this doesn't happen moving forward. Because thoughts and prayers can only go so far. But again, we feel so bad. We know as Americans what it's like. It's not good for any community anywhere in the world. And so again, our hearts here at Fourth Down Fiasco go out to the Graz community out there in Austria.
Fires, Mike Sims, Walker, knocked down.
Oh my God! Davis is going running all the way back. Auburn's going to win the football game.
In trouble, he's going to be sacked. No, gets away. He runs, gets away again, goes to the 40, gets away again.
Jackson takes it himself. Look at him turn back and forth. Oh! He broke his ankles.
I have never seen this before in my life.
Still looking, firing, near corner. It's caught.
Denver, unbelievable.
And welcome to the Fourth Down Fiasco.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Fourth Down Fiasco, your go-to podcast for all things football, brought to you by BetStamp. Unfortunately, Bet365 is no longer catering to the UK for the European League of Football, mainly because Alex Malchow won too much money. But you can check out BetStamp at signupexpert.com/fiasco. If you like any other sport, you're into fighting, F1, all that fun stuff, you can place a $10 bet. Let us know if you win something. Cool. If you don't win something, it ain't our fault. With me, as always, are my co-stars and contributors, Danny Weber and Tanner Vinsky. Say hello to the people, fellas.
Hey.
Uh-oh. I believe this is the first time in 3-4 weeks that we've all been together on the same show, right?
I know it's been a while.
It has been a while, and crazy shit keeps happening in the European League of Football, which is what we're going to talk about today. And instead of doing our normal recap of the previous week of games, because we are at the mid-season point, it is time to talk about mid-season awards. Daniel, would you like to kick us off, my friend?
Am I running through what awards we're talking about, or we're just going straight to MVP? Or
we can just go straight into MVP if you want to go straight into MVP.
Let's go backwards. We'll go Coach of the Year first. So we're going to cover MVP, Offensive Player of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year, Rookie of the Year, and Coach of the Year. I know there's more awards out there. Those are the ones.
But it's the mid-season. We don't need to be quite as polished for this one. So who do you have for Coach of the Year, Daniel?
I'll let Tanner go first.
Ooh.
Okay. So for Coach of the Year, what I ended up deciding to go with, and I don't know if this is going to be too much of a hot take, but I'm actually going to go with Jack Del Rio with the Paris Musketeers. And my main logic for that really is just the fact that when we looked at the Paris roster preseason, I think most of us actually predict Paris to lose just to how brutal their schedule, or sorry, not to lose, but to miss out on playoffs just due to how brutal the schedule was for Paris and still is going forward in this season. But Paris has some extreme quality wins on their record so far.
Okay.
I mean, having a win against the Rhine Fire, they got a win against who's their other? I mean, they got a win against Stuttgart. I mean, yeah, it is just
Galaxy.
And held Stuttgart to 0 points.
Shut them out.
Bonkers.
And I think a lot of that really does come down to just having such just their defensive package. I mean, what they're running. I mean, they're throwing teams off and they're keeping themselves going. And we haven't been the biggest fans of their offense, but their offense is keeping them enough in these games. They're starting to click when, as the season's been going. So I don't know. I could easily see Paris, being up there in their record. And I just think they're one of the more impressive rosters, at least just from a coaching perspective, so far through the first half of the year.
Fair enough.
Yeah, their offense is starting to click, which is nice.
Yeah, who would have thought that we would be saying that Paris is being led by their defense What kind of alternate reality are we in for that to be a thing? But no, I could see Del Rio. I think that he's done a pretty good job with them this year.
Only if our boy Zach Edwards had this Paris defense.
Ooh. Dog, if Zach Edwards would have had this Paris, they would have won it all last year. Or at least made it to the championship game. They may not have gotten past Ryan, but because that Jadrian, Clark, Glenn Tunga, Ryan Fire with their defense was just disgusting. But
yeah,
we love parity in the league.
Jordan, who's your coach of the year?
So I'm going a little bit different here. I am going with the league's Ted Lasso. Shout out Dave Warner with the Prague Lions. What were you going to say that? Yeah. Look, when the season ends, do I think Prague is going to make the playoffs? Probably not. But when the season ends, are we going to look at a Prague team with the winning record? I think so. And that is a wild thing to say out loud. So yeah, I gotta give it to Dave Warner. He has turned this program around. These guys believe in themselves. They believe in each other. They are way punching above their weight class. And it's been awesome to see. And it's been so much fun. So yeah, I gotta give it up to Coach Warner out there in Prague. They're doing incredible things and inspiring the next generation of lower tier ELF teams to have the opportunity to turn things around.
And they're giving them the blueprint how to fix themselves.
Yes.
Prague had one win, technically two, one was a forfeit, but one win going into the season, and now they're at 4 in 6 weeks. 4 was, I was told, was their goal for the year, and we just hit the halfway point.
Yeah. And aside from a Vienna loss that we're going to talk about here soon for next week, I think that they legitimately have the ability to have a winning record by the end of the year. And that's just nuts. That's bonkers to me.
Their defense is good. Their offense is good. They just have a solid team.
Yeah. And they've got a lot of guys who, again, kind of the Ted Lasso effect, that are willing to lay it on the line for one another at all times of the game. And you never question with Prague whether or not if they're giving 100%. They are, even the games that they've lost, they are the hardest working team on the field. Sometimes they're just, beaten.
They haven't lost since week 2, so.
Yeah. Now, if they beat Vienna, that's just going to be nuts. The long inhale.
If it does happen, I will be happy and sad because I'll be there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you will be.
A world of emotions.
Yeah. There you go. Don't forget, Danny, we also have to buy Prague jerseys.
We do. If you listen to our episode last week, we said that there's not a single shot that Prague beats Frankfurt, and that if they did, we would buy Prague jerseys. So
thank God I missed last week.
Yeah, it's like, thank the Lord. And they didn't just beat them. They
whooped some ass.
They whooped them.
Wasn't even close.
Yeah. Wasn't even close.
That's great. Okay. So that's our coach of the year.
Yep.
What award do you want to go with next?
Let's go Rookie of the Year.
Rookie of the Year? Okay.
Rookie of the Year and runner-up.
Rookie of the Year and runner-up. All right. I can start off this one. And I know Reid Sinnett is also a rookie, but we're going to talk about him plenty moving forward, I'm sure. Little teaser for the future. So with that, I'm going to go with Aaron All-Madden Crookshank. That brother is putting up just ridiculous numbers. He is the best wide receiver in the league by far. It's not close. There is a drop off from him to Bo out in Copenhagen. There is a significant drop off. And yeah, I mean, the guy he just has elite vision. It seems like nobody can ever tackle him. It's not even, I've seen him pull away in some instances, but I don't even think that he has necessarily game-breaking speed. Willie Patterson, I would say, has game-breaking speed. He doesn't, but he just always seems to find the end zone. So I got to give it to my boy Aaron. He's been going nuts. And then if I were to give it a runner-up, I'd go with good old Tabor Time out there in Munich. Tabor Time out there in Munich.
TT. Tanner?
Yeah, I lean Cruikshank over Tabor as well. One, I root for Madrid, so I'm obviously going to lean my guy. But also, it's Cruikshank's got 1,000. He's already over 1,000 yards into the season. We're what, in week 7? Week 7 just concluded. We're heading into week 8.
Fastest ELF receiver to get to 1,000 yards.
Yeah, and on top of only playing 6 games, being at 1,000 yards, he's 400 yards above Bo and Nordic, right?
Yeah.
So the second place person, he's got 400 yards above him. I mean, there's just not a more dominant receiver in the league right now. And as good as Tabor has been for Munich, I mean, we don't see another position where there's a guy who's this head and shoulders above his competition.
Yeah. Agreed.
That 400 is a little inflated since Nordic didn't get to play this week.
True. Yeah, they are a game.
It would still be almost 300 yards probably. Which is
has Nordic had their bye already?
They've had both technically because they got postponed.
Okay.
But
I just didn't know if they had
against Helvetic, so who knows what Bo would do. But no, Cruikshank is on an absolute tear.
Yeah.
Ugh.
And I would venture to say that Madrid has played better teams this year than Nordic has.
So far, yeah.
So Cruikshank is also doing that against better competition, whereas the Nordic Storm, my only mark against them and some other discussions that we'll have is that, and it's not their fault, they just haven't played particularly great teams this season.
Yeah.
The Fire game in 2 weeks should be interesting.
Yes, that, oh, man, Jadrian going back home, that shit's going to be crazy.
They're coming home first. They're coming to his new place.
Oh, they're going to his hood? Oh, that's oh, yeah.
They get to go to Copenhagen before they go to Rhine.
Love it. Danny?
I did not expect all three of us to have the same.
I don't see why not. I feel like Cruikshank is the very clear.
Well, yeah, he is the clear rookie of the year, but I thought there'd be a different, I don't know who, like maybe you wanted to like sneak in DJ Irons at 3-3. I don't know.
No. Hey, listen, friend of the pod, DJ, we love you, brother.
Well,
DJ is the only person who has responded and has laughed at the Mr. Fiasco award that we give out. So
true.
We love DJ because he can take a joke, but no, he's not the.
Yeah, I agree with both of you guys, and you guys have kind of talked about it all already. Cruikshank's just on a different level, and yeah, his initial burst of speed is wild.
Yeah,
and I wish I'm not going to do it because it'd be a lot of time to waste. But to go back, maybe Matt will do this. Go back and see how many first tackles he's broken.
Mm-hmm.
Like the first defender, how often has he gotten by? Because I feel like it has to be like 98% of the time.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Like he does not go down on the first guy.
No. And it's crazy because he's also not a big guy either.
Yeah. But what I'll say about Cruikshank is I don't think Cruikshank's going to be in the ELF for long. I think just the way Cruikshank plays and with how good his release is off the line, somebody's going to take a flyer on him somewhere.
This is NFL tape right now. He's about to pull a Cavante Turpin. Matt, actually, Bresington was talking about it, that very similar trajectories. But yeah, Cruikshank's going to get a call either from the NFL to try out, or at the very least, he's going to get a UFL, probably guaranteed starting position for one of the teams.
I would not be surprised if after September that he is.
I think he'll be on an NFL
roster, practice squad, or something.
I think so. He's too much of a playmaker, man. Again, his vision's just nuts. Yeah. His balance, all of it. What does that take us to? Do we want to do offensive player of the year or defensive player of the year first?
Let's go defense.
Defense?
Yeah.
Okay. Danny, this one's on you, my friend.
I think we're all in unison, right? I don't know Tanner, but good old Max Parkinson.
Yeah, Mr. Park Ranger himself.
He is getting Kyle Kitchen says he gets triple team. Max Parkinson's getting triple team.
Oh yeah.
And second in sacks for the league, has played one less game than Kyle Kitchens. And it's not just the sacks, because there are some aspects of his stats that may not even necessarily be the most eye-popping, but it's that all three levels of the game he somehow has stats in, and it's ridiculous. Of he has a pass breakup, which is weird to think about. He has multiple pass deflections. He has sacks. He has forced fumbles. Like, the guy is just everywhere all at once.
He's just causing disruptions to let his other teammates work as well. It's like
exactly
you're pulling people to you. You have the gravitational pull to bring the offense to you, and it just opens up everything else.
And statistically speaking, the Nordic Storm, I know that we talked about competition level, but I'm just saying as far as stats are concerned, the Nordic Storm are the best defense in the league.
One of, I think, yeah.
As far as points per game allowed, they are the best.
And even outside of stats wise, I mean, you just look at the Nordic roster, and I would be hard pressed to not say the Nordic roster is a top 3 defense in the entire league.
Oh yeah,
right?
they're absolutely a top 3.
I still laugh from our Randy interview when he was like, "Oh, well, we better be careful with Helvetic." It's like, "Oh, we don't know how good this team's going to be." And it's like, are you serious? Like, look at the roster that you've put together. Like, how many rings do you have on that team to begin with? Like, your center has 2 rings. Your DN has 4 rings. Your quarterback, your running back have rings. It's like, come on.
Yeah, your quarterback not only has 2 rings, but also has 2 championship game MVPs and another seasonal MVP, and might end up getting a second season MVP.
Yeah, like, I understand the...
Got to be humble. It is the correct mindset when you're playing sports. It is the correct mindset. But those of us who don't have to be in that world and don't have to be disciplined can see through the bullshit.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Max, the Park Ranger Parkinson, congratulations, brother. You are on track right now to be DPOY.
Keep it up.
We like it.
Offensive player of the year.
Offensive player of the year. Ooh, this one's tough.
Shoot, Tanner.
All right, so this is going to spoil my MVP, but for offensive player of the year, and it's weird to say this as the Madrid guy, but I'm actually going Reid, Sinnett at offensive player.
Okay.
And even though I think at the end of the year, I think Reid Sinnett still is going to have better stats than Jadrian Clark. However, I think the Nordic Storm are probably going to go undefeated. So I think you have to, account for, as a voter, what's more valuable, being able to lead a winning football team all through the year. And there's still a strong chance that the Madrid Bravos miss the playoffs, right? So I think when you come down to it and you're looking at, the 7th best roster in the league, which would probably be Madrid, and they're the first team out of the playoffs. And yeah, Reid Sinnett put up monster numbers. Do you value that more than the Nordic Storm, who have 10 plus wins and, have a little bit less stats? And I think when it's going to come down to voting, and especially, I really hope I'm wrong, because I want Madrid to make it to the playoffs so bad, because I think they could upset somebody if they make it there. With their schedule and with how competitive that 4 through 8 is in the league right now, I just don't really see it for Madrid. And I think with that, it's going to lead to Jadrian taking this award, just because I don't think Jadrian's going to be that far behind, to be completely honest, by the end of the year. Like I said, he's got 500 less yards than Sinnett does right now. But again, like we said with the Nordic earlier, they've missed a game. So realistically, he probably would have passed, and they were playing Helvetic, so he probably would have passed for 350. I would imagine.
You can throw for a bunch of yards, but I think he's only 2 or 3 touchdowns behind the guy as well.
Exactly, and also, how many INTs does Clark have? 1? Does he have 1 or 2?
That is 26-3. Clark is 22-1.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so Clark on trajectory was Tom Brady, I believe, in 2007. I think it was his MVP year. I think he went 28-3 for touchdown interception. And again, sorry, Falcons fans, but it was 28-3 for his touchdown to interception ratio that year. And Jadrian Clark is looking to do better than that in a 12-game season. You know what I mean? That's the trajectory that he's currently on. So it's an insanely impressive quarterback performance. So even if Sinnett may have the better numbers, you have to look at that roster, look at how well they perform, and look at that and be like, what other quarterback in the league right now would have 22 touchdowns to 1 interception right now?
Yeah.
You can kind of look at the NFL MVP race from this year with Burrow and Allen. Burrow had better numbers, over 5,000 passing yards, 40-plus touchdowns, but didn't make the playoffs. Where Allen had, 4,200 yards and 32 touchdowns, not counting his rushing stuff. Mm-hmm. But because he made the playoffs, he had the edge. And what was it? Every quarterback who threw for 5,000 yards and 40-plus touchdowns won MVP prior, which has only happened 4 times in history.
So I pulled it up. Burrow didn't pass for 5,000. He passed for 4,900, which, again, is very close.
Close.
But still, he had 1,200 more passing yards than Allen did. Allen had 3,700. And then he had about 15 more touchdowns because Allen had 28 passing and Burrow had 43. Yeah. So again, Burrow's stats were much greater. And again, Allen is a huge rushing guy, and we don't have those stats up right now. But
it goes into the teams. The Bengals finished 9-8.
Either 9 or 8 or 8 and 9. I don't remember what you guys.
I don't remember. That, but then the Bills finished 12-4 and made the playoffs.
Yeah.
Winning helps.
Yep. And that's what the voters are saying. It's like one is in the playoffs, one is not. How can we get one over the other?
Which is, at the end of the day, winning football is winning football. That's why later on, whenever we talk about MVP, it's all about value added, right?
Yeah.
So, Danny, who do you have for Offensive Player of the Year?
I like Sinnett as well for Offensive Rookie of the Year or Offensive Player of the Year. And it goes back to my point with Burrow and Allen. You can have the numbers, you can have everything pretty, but if your team's not winning, it doesn't matter. Your offense can average 50 points a game, but if your defense is giving up 51.
Fair.
Winning is winning.
Winning is winning. I am going to do the flip, and I am going to have Jadrian Clark as my Offensive Player of the Year, which is going to probably spoil who I have for MVP. We don't even have to talk about Jadrian's resume this season. It's
if you want to know why he picked Jadrian as his Offensive Player of the Year, go read his article.
Yeah, there we go. There we go. Plug that shit, Danny. Love it.
Hopefully it's out Friday. If not, blame Jordan.
Well, I just got to thinking this episode's going to release on Wednesday, so you're going to have to wait a day or two.
Yeah, but just be prepared for the article. It's his mid-season awards.
So, but yeah, no, I have Jadrian, and it's simply because, and we'll get more into it with the MVP discussion, but I feel like Nordic could still very well be 5-0 right now if you were to plug and play any of the top 5 quarterbacks, whether if that is Tabor, Ben Holmes, Sinnett, I truly think that right now Nordic is just so good, and they've also played such lesser competition that I am only going solely off of midseason. I am not going off of.
Would Clark have over 2K with Cruikshank in that offense?
Now that's a fun discussion.
Or would he have 2,500?
That's a fun discussion. But so that's about where I'm at right now. It's just I need to see Jadrian go off against Ryan. As soon as he does that, MVP, sure. But for now, I think that Nordic is so well constructed, and also their competition has been so lacking to start the season that I can't necessarily say that he affects winning to the degree that I would have him an MVP right now.
Okay. Easy enough.
And Jadrian, I know you're a friend of the pod. Please don't be mad that I said that.
Don't worry. I'll tell him in person that you.
Oh, yeah. Actually, yeah. Might as well, since you'll get to see him. Lucky you.
I'll be like, oh, yeah, Jordan just doesn't like you. Sorry.
No, actually, I feel bad because, in writing the article or whatever, I do my case for and case against. And I'm like, I really hope Ben Holmes doesn't think that I just hate him. Because I always have a really good case against Ben Holmes, and it's such bullshit.
He's surrounded by good talent. He just sucks. He's
doesn't
not a
use his
runner.
legs enough. Proceeds to run for over 100 yards and like 2 touchdowns.
Do you know what, he messaged me like I messaged him like week 2 and I was like, I thought you weren't running anymore. He's like, I swear I'm done running. And then he ran for like 100 yards the next game and I was like, dude, what happened? He's like,
Yeah.
sorry.
You're like, all right.
Pocket passer though.
Yeah.
Hey, the white Lamar. Anyways, so let's before we get to MVP, I do just, because we're doing awards, might as well shout somebody out who is deserving of this. I think we're all going to have the same person here. Special teams player of the year, Willie Patterson.
On a new team?
Willie Patterson, everybody? No, oh, are you saying Devin Burrell? Defend your stance, Daniel.
People are actively avoiding Devin Burrell actively avoiding kicking Devin Burrell the ball now. I haven't seen that against Willie Patterson yet. When Devin Burrell gets his hands on the ball, there is a very high % chance that he is scoring.
It's just hard because it's like, I see what you're saying. And if we're talking specifically just special teams, because like Willie Patterson, if you want to talk about like who you'd rather have,
special teams.
Yeah, we're just talking special teams. Okay, that's fair. That's fine.
Willie Patterson on offense is wild.
I'm still going to go with Willie P though, because the guy has, I believe, 12 total touchdowns on the year. He's got, I just looked it up.
No, but
it was
Devin Burrell now on Helvetic while he looks this up, along with Nash. Helvetic is getting an overload. They were still a team. They've lost like all of their players, but they will field a team this week, is what I've been told.
So, yeah, Willie Patterson, 5 receiving touchdowns, 3 rushing touchdowns, and then 2 punt return touchdowns. So, but I get it. We're talking just about special teams. My bad. I'm still going to go with Willie P.
Last week, I would have said Burrell as well to give full credence to Danny. The only reason I'm going Willie Patterson is just because the Panthers have cut Burrell, and now that he's signed with Helvetic, it always scares me, right? When you're mid-season switching teams, and Helvetic scares me just as a roster in general,
and not in a good way.
He will get more kickoff return chances because of how bad this defense is. So the more times people score on Helvetic, the more chances he can score.
I mean, that's true, but it's just Helvetic's in such a bad spot right now. Yeah. Like they're doing a full roster reconstruction halfway through the year.
I was messaging, I think it's either their GM or whoever signs the players, and he's like, I am trying to do everything I can to field a team. He's like, I don't know what to do.
Job. All right.
I mean, shout out him. Shout out for the fact that they're going to play this week is a miracle.
Well, even to pull in Nash and Burrell right after all this is wild.
Well, there's this really fun trend so far we've seen with the ELF where other teams, being able to, see the benefits of the Panthers' incompetence. Yeah, exactly. And okay, maybe that's like really harsh for Wrocław because they gave an actual reason for why they wanted to get rid of him, and they wanted to retool and they want to make the playoffs.
They defended
Why would you cut the only exciting part of your team? I don't really understand.
He can be exciting, but when he is signed to play defensive back and he is not doing that, when your pass defense is one of the worst in the league, you need to make changes. And you can only do so much with homegrowns.
And here's my counter argument to it. Think about how many tickets the Bears sold when Devin Hester was there compared to the tickets that the Bears sold when Devin Hester was no longer in the building, right? Yeah. Like you do need something exciting to get fans to go to games, and Devin Burrell was that. And also I really can't stand Wrocław for like how unloyal they've been to their players. They've been ruthless. And like if I were a player, I would not go to Wrocław, because why would you? Like you could just get cut at any time. Like there's no
game and you're done.
Yep.
I'm surprised Irons is still there after his 3-pick performance.
I know. I mean, it seemed like they were thinking about cutting him, right? And we get some murmurs that they were,
But so then MVP.
We
kind of all discussed it already. Tanner and I are rocking the same with Good old Jadrian.
Fair enough. I am going with Sinnett. I just let me read something off real quick about our
You do
boy.
that. I'll pull up the games from last week so we
I
can
already have the stats up. So
quickly go over that.
2,033 yards, first in the league. 26 touchdowns, first in the league. Has 3 interceptions, which is tied for 6 out of quarterbacks who qualify. So that doesn't include the wide receiver that throws one pass kind of thing.
Oh, yeah.
Completion percentage 69.5, first in the league. QBR of 135.7. Guess what? First in the league. Every statistical category, he is first in the league. And the reason why I would put him above Jadrian Clark is this. If Sinnett has a bad game, Madrid loses. He has to play perfect, basically, in order for Madrid to win a game. And that, to me, is the value aspect. It's kind of like whenever Russell Westbrook won MVP in the NBA. If Russell Westbrook had a bad game, the Thunder lost.
Yeah.
It was as simple as that. So that's where my logic is, if Jadrian has a bad game, especially against the competition that they have played thus far, their defense is more than good enough that they can still win a game. Madrid's defense is so bad that if Sinnett is not putting up 5 touchdowns in a game, they're going to lose. And he's been doing it.
All but 2 times.
All but 2 times. And the 2 times he didn't. Well, one was the first game of the season, which they won by 1 point in a really, really low scoring affair, which was weird. And
Luckily they did win, because they'd probably be out of playoffs if they didn't win that.
Yeah, and then the other time he wasn't just absolutely phenomenal, they lost. So as far as value, he adds the most value to his team.
That is the name of the award.
It is the name of the award.
But there's our awards. Let us know if you agree or disagree.
Yep. Hopefully there's at least one keyboard warrior who's upset with something that we said. But cool. Yeah. With that, let's take a look at this past week's slate of games. We don't need to hang out here long because we never hang out here long. But anything stand out to y'all aside from Prague?
3 one-score games.
Heyo, we do love one-score games so much.
It's true. Stuttgart, Munich? Anyone?
Yeah, that might be a nice spicy rivalry developing out there.
They were getting a little chippy. They were the Munich players on the sideline were going wild with the crowd, all game. It was great.
Yeah. So no, that's fun. That is fun.
What do you think about the last play of the game with your boy Riley Hennessy? Did you see what happened?
I saw the fumble.
He went to throw a Hail Mary and threw the ball backwards.
Yeah. Look, slow start to the season. I still have faith in Riley Hennessy. I mean, if you think about it, when Stuttgart made it to the championship game 2 years ago, they had 2 losses. So this is a good omen, okay?
The prophecy.
The prophecy has been spoken. Stuttgart in my brain is still going to win the championship, because if not, then my article is going to be really stupid. So as a journalist, I am hanging on to this one. And I see it this way of, I don't think we've had a single undefeated team win the championship, right? Like that went undefeated in the regular season.
I think the Fire in 20.
No, didn't.
3.
Did they? They might have, but I'm a big proponent of.
They didn't lose a game until Madrid of last year.
Oh, you're so right. And then everybody freaked out. But I'm a big proponent of, I think that teams that lose a game during the regular season, have a heartbreak here or there, are more poised for the playoffs because they know what it's like to lose and they know how to prepare better. So
that's such a funny statement because it is true, but it's like everyone's lost. So everyone knows the feeling of a loss. But when you are on a win streak, you're just like, we're untouchable. Yeah. And then you end up losing in the playoffs to the championship game and you're like, well, shit.
Well, shit. Yeah. So So yeah, I'm not. At the end of the day, Munich is also a really, really good team.
Their defense is good.
Their defense is so good.
Russell Tabor is so versatile. I know he's only 22. I know he's fresh out of college. I didn't realize how quick he is. With his legs, he is so quick. He will just escape the pocket and dive forward for like 7 yards.
I was, and this is in my MVP article if anybody wants to read that on Friday, but I see some shades of Zach Edwards in his game. He's not as big. They're about the same height, I do believe, but he's not as stocky. So, Zach Edwards had no problem putting people in the dirt, whereas Tabor's a little more flash, razzle dazzle. But there are definitely some shades a la Zach Edwards. And you said that Munich did successfully sign him to a multi-year deal.
3 years. So we get 3 years of Tabor time, baby.
Ooh, Tabor time. Man, I'm so glad. That's so good for Munich.
Yeah.
Because
he's
a stud.
Tanner, thoughts on week 7? You've been quiet because we've been talking.
Yeah, no, like I said, I think the big takeaway is just the fact that Munich is establishing themselves as like a top dog in the ELF right now. They're definitely going to lock up their division. I mean, they keep putting in quality wins. It was really hard to do power rankings after this week, just because looking at like the top 6 teams, it's kind of crazy to put Stuttgart all the way down at 6. But when you look at Paris, Rhein, Munich, you look at those rosters. I mean, they all have really quality wins, and Munich, I think, is going to have a hard time losing the rest of their schedule. I mean, I was looking at it earlier, and they don't have a lot of tough competition left. I mean, I'm hoping for the best with the 2 Madrid matchups, obviously, but no, I'm very excited to see what Munich does, and like you said, having Tabor for the next 3 years is going to be massive for them. I would not be shocked to see Munich win a championship in the next 3 years. It's really just going to depend on how good Nordic stays and how good, Vienna stays over the next couple of years. But I think if teams like that start losing players or see players kind of transition to other places, I think you could see Munich start rising.
Well, it's not even just losing
rosters.
Players. The competition has gotten better in the top teams. I was talking about it last week. Almost every playoff team has beaten a playoff team already. I feel like we could do that like circle of loss or whatever it's called, where it's like this team beat this team to beat this team and just completes the circle. Because like the Fire beat Vienna, Vienna beat the Fire, the Surge lost to the Musketeers, Vienna hasn't beat the Musketeers yet, have they? No, they don't play them.
No, I
yet.
don't believe so.
But it's just like it circles.
Yeah.
But Ryan's beating the Musketeers, so I mean that even you got a circle right there just between those 3 teams,
Yeah. But we were talking about power rankings. Surge at 6. They're the 6th seed in the playoffs right now.
Yeah.
They're the last team in.
That is, man, crazy when you think about it. I really do hope that they expand it to 7 teams, just because I feel like
the number 1 needs a bye. Like the number 1. I hate a 2-team bye because it's like, oh, okay. It's like, cool. Like, give us 3 wild card games and give us 1 bye.
I think I'm actually going to disagree with y'all. I don't like when playoff fields are so expanded. That's actually one of my big complaints about.
I don't think
NBA.
7 is too far, because right now it's 36% of the league gets into the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
I think when you have 16 teams, though,
37.
I think 6 is a good fit. I think.
What's the NFL percentage? How many teams in the NFL? 16?
32.
How many make the playoffs?
14.
There's 14.
So 44% of the teams in the NFL make the playoffs. If we upped it to 7, it would be the exact number the NFL has, percentage-wise. 437.
And again, I think it worked better when the NFL was at 6 teams per bracket, And I think part of what they can get creative with it with 6 teams. I do agree that I think they should find a way to get like maybe the 1 and 2 seeds a bye. But you can have the 1 and 2 seeds get a bye, and then you can have 3 and 4 play each other, 5 and 6 play each other, 3 play 6, 4 play 5, and then winners go on to play 1 and 2 in the second round, right?
Well, that's what they do.
I think
currently.
but they both get buys, right?
1 and 2 both get by. Didn't you just say that?
Yeah, which I think is fine. I think if you're the top 2 rosters in the league, you should get by, right? Like
Fair.
I don't think having the 1 seed be
games.
entirely exclusive.
I like better
I guess
playoff
that's fair.
games, especially with this league, with the parity of it. So, like, give us an extra challenging game or a good game, I guess.
Sorry, not to change subjects here, but the one thing that I do want to highlight from this last week's slate of games, we talked about the Stuttgart Surge and the Munich Ravens and how great that game was. The Prague Lions going into Frankfurt. Went into Frankfurt, brother, and beat them. Whoop that ass.
Frankfurt is falling apart fast. We thought they were going to be really good in week 3.
Apart
and
right in front of our eyes.
They were probably out of the playoffs. I don't think 4 losses get you in the playoffs.
Yeah, no. Even if they went out, I don't think that they're going to.
9 and 3 is the cutoff for the playoffs. 8 and 4 does not get you in. Maybe one 8 and 4 team. But there's going to be quite a few teams that probably finish 8 and 4.
Fair enough. Yeah, so that is incredible. Go Prague.
Hey, I will say I just went to check.
Looking competent. Sorry, Tanner.
Oh, I was going to say with Frankfurt, I went to just go check my preseason predictions for Frankfurt. I had them at 9. Frankfurt, I currently have at 10. So, I will just say I am glad that Frankfurt is kind of showing a little bit more of what I thought they were going to be like at the beginning of the season.
Yeah, I don't remember.
I feel the same. I remember getting a lot of shit for how low I put Frankfurt, and I'm okay now. We're good. I was right. So, at what cost?
You had him at 12.
I did have him at 12.
That post had
12's kind of
46 comments. Holy cow.
Probably most of it's talking shit about Jordan putting the Frankfurt at 12.
It actually was.
Matt said you can tell Jordan lives in a state where weed is legal.
Nice.
Which now I don't live in a state where weed is legal.
I stand by everything I said. Bring the cavalry.
Hey, and I was right. So, do we want to do pick'ems for next week?
We need to announce our winners first, and then we can quickly go through pick'ems.
Wait, say that again?
We need to announce our award winners.
Oh, you're so right. Sorry, we did the other awards, and I completely forgot about our awards, the better awards, the real awards.
Yes.
Well, Danny, I don't have the list in front of me, so if you could do the honors for us. I know who Unsung is.
Yes. Thanks
I know
to
who Unsung is too, but I also.
But so let's start with. I feel like it's everyone's least favorite award, view-wise. The big dog of the week.
Oh yeah, they're like, we don't give a shit who played well.
Yeah, we already know who played well. But I don't think it comes to any shock, even though it was against a Hamburg team that is slowly falling apart. Mr. Reid Sinnett, Jordan's leading MVP candidate.
My leading MVP candidate.
26 to 31, almost 350 yards, falling 2 yards shy, and 6 touchdowns with an 11-yard average.
Dog. Yeah.
6 touchdowns is hard to beat. Ben Holmes came close.
He
5.
did. He had 5. White Lamar was really out there.
He had 5 at 9,000 feet, too.
Whew. Yeah, dude, their elevation is nuts out there.
So flowers to Mr. Ben VP. But Unsung, everyone's middle award. You guys voted for it. It was actually a really close vote.
It was a very close race.
3 votes between Willie Patterson and Philip
Okonkwo.
Whoa.
Whoa.
And the winner is Philip Okonkwo.
There you go, Danny.
His game-winning touchdown against none other than the Stuttgart Surge. Tabler, you're close. You had 5 touchdowns or 3 touchdowns. But
I'm glad that it went to Okonkwo just because, as much fun as it would have been to have another Willie P award. I mean, he won them the game with that particular touchdown. You know,
And Unsung is turned into a homegrown /E award.
yeah, unintentionally.
Week 1, it has been all non-Americans,
which I am so cool with that.
Yeah.
And then last but not least, the Mr. Fiasco Award.
Going back to the Madrid game, back on track for the Fiasco Award of what it should have been from the beginning, an A import award only for Mr. Michael Leon.
Pain.
11 of 29, 124 yards, and 3 picks against the Bravos. I guess revamped defense after the bye week. Maybe they've turned the corner. Who knows? But also,
Hamburg is that much of a mess.
Hamburg, your leading rusher had 32 yards against one of the worst rushing defenses.
Yeah, that's bad. That's bad.
But I'm sorry, Mr. Leon. You're Mr. Fiasco of the week.
You are Mr. Fiasco of the week.
And I will,
this is really just payback for the fact that we couldn't tag Tagovailoa with it originally. Looking back at it, we should have also gotten Talia with it, but it's fine.
Of course, he had to get ejected.
I know, freaking DeMarco Artis.
What were you saying, Tanner?
So I will say I think Leon is the right pick here, but I did advocate pretty heavily for Kyle Kitchens to also get this award because my man has been on clown behavior since the game, since about halfway through the game, celebrating down 33-0, going on a tirade on social media. Who was the DB that he was talking shit to? Was it
I think it was an offensive lineman.
Yeah, it was an offensive lineman. I thought it was a DB for some reason.
There was one. He posted a clip. He pushed this offensive lineman back, but they threw a touchdown on the same play. And he's like, next time I'll beat you or something like that. It's like, dude, you just posted a clip of, you pushing him back 10 yards, but you didn't do anything.
Yeah, but you didn't disrupt the play. I mean, you disrupted one player on the field. So
and he did his job, not let the quarterback get hit.
I mean, shout out Kyle Kitchens for getting 5 tackles and 3 sacks and 2 TFLs that game. But my brother in Christ, you did not have a good performance. I don't care what numbers you put up. Your team got walloped. I mean, 57-0 is just flat out embarrassing.
And you did not react well to it either,
hold your head down, just accept that you got your ass beat, because that's what happened. I mean, you got your ass beat.
Celebrating after every play.
Well, I saw a thing where he was talking with someone in some Instagram comments and was talking about it was back after the Prague loss that Hamburg had, and was like, yeah, I don't know why they kept putting a tight end against me. And I'm like, because it was working. You got some sacks, but for the most part, it let them, kind of just work around you. They literally just went around you that entire game, and it worked because they won.
What were you ranting about, Tanner? You cut out.
Oh, did I cut out? Yeah. It's one of those things where, you can put up whatever numbers you can on defense, but you did not do your job on the defensive front of actually disrupting the game. Because if you would have disrupted the game in any sort of meaningful manner, your team would have lost by 57.
Yeah.
Just abysmal performance. I mean, really just Hamburg had a terrible game. And I think Hamburg is just on their death kneel. I don't know what Hamburg's going to be able to pull off for the rest of the season.
They are dog.
Should have called Matt Bresington when you had the chance.
That's a good one. Well, cool. Now we get into pick'ems because Danny, I know you have a hard stop here in about 10 minutes.
Rapid fire pick'ems.
Okay.
I'm still in between one of the games and I don't like it.
You what?
I'm still in between one of the games and I don't know who to pick.
Well, you need to figure it out because Munich Ravens are going up against the Madrid Bravos, and what's going to be the game of the week? Who do you have, Danny?
Games of the week. So sorry, Saturday games. Sunday games.
Meh.
Saturday, Munich.
Tune in
Madrid.
Saturday.
Tanner.
Oh, I got Madrid. And I mean, I don't think it's going to age well. I think Munich is the better roster so far, but this is my team, and they need this win to make it to the playoffs. So I'm going to be rooting for Madrid as heavily as possible. And I'm hoping Cruikshank, he's just going to go Super Saiyan, and that's how they beat Munich.
Fair. Yeah, I have Madrid as well. I recognize that Munich is the better roster, but Madrid needs this win a lot more. And we've come to realize that whenever teams have their backs against the wall, at least like the top 7 teams, they play significantly better. So I'm going to put some stock into that.
Yeah,
and also it's in Madrid. So
yeah,
I'm taking Madrid because it's at home. They set a record week 1 for highest Spanish football game. I think they'll break it. I don't know the numbers yet, but I think it'll be close. It's going to be loud. It's going to be bumping.
Oh, yeah.
I think Reid Sinnett's going to come out firing. And if you're betting on signupexpert.com/fiasco, hammer the over.
Oh, man.
But if it's not over, don't blame me. Sorry.
The Rhine Fire.
Danny just doesn't want me to pass him.
Oh, yeah. The Rhine Fire are traveling up to Tyrol to play the Raiders. 9,000 feet elevation. I got Ryan for this one, personally.
I do as well.
This is the one I'm between. I like the Raiders at home. They played pretty well last week in Vienna. I fully don't trust Ryan yet.
I trust Ryan's defense. I don't trust Chad Jeffries.
Yeah. And the Raiders have... You can run the ball with 18 different people on the Raiders. It's like, what are you going to do?
Dude, their offense is so weird, and I love it.
Yeah, and that's what confuses me because they're at home. They play well at home because they have the altitude. I mean, it's almost twice as high as Denver, which is wild.
Wild, yeah.
And
so who do you have, Danny? You got to say somebody.
I'm going to be different. Let's roll with the country of Austria. I'm flying there Friday anyways, so let's go Tyrol.
There we go. You better call Tyrol. Call him. Oh, yeah, Danny, you're white. I forget. You don't know what that song is. Last on our Saturday game, we have the Prague Lions going out to Vienna. Danny, you're going to this game.
I will be. If you see me there, say hi.
I think that this is where Prague's Cinderella run comes to an end.
I think we all agree. Vikings in 1.
Vikings by 1 million.
Maybe not 1 million. We said that last time.
Yeah.
We did say that against the Galaxy, and we did lose.
Now, what's going to be wild is whenever Prague does go into Vienna and beat y'all while you're there, it's the only game you see live. That's going to be hilarious.
If Prague, oh, wow.
Going into our Sunday game, since we're still rapid
Vikings, you didn't verbally say it. You nodded.
Oh, yeah. Vikings.
Right. Just need to make sure.
So I would love to see Prague win. It'd be hilarious.
Yep,
but
I agree.
I mean, the Vikings.
Tanner's cutting out, but he said that he would love to see Prague win because it would be hilarious. All right. Sunday, we have the Paris Musketeers traveling out to Helvetic, who is somehow going to field the team. This one's Paris by 1 million.
Yeah, Paris.
Whatever the line is, bet higher.
Tanner, Paris, Helvetic?
Not going to be close.
Yeah.
Another one that probably won't be close. Nordic at Hamburg.
Nordic.
Plus,
they basically just got a free bye week. So, yeah, they're going to be fresh. The Cologne Centurion at the Wroclaw Panthers.
Wroclaw.
And it's in Wroclaw.
Yeah. It's not going to be close.
And then the last not-so-close game, the Feyenoorders are going out to Stuttgart to play a probably very pissed-off Stuttgart.
Stuttgart's going to be pissed.
Dude, they're going to beat the dog shit out of them.
I hope Riley Hennessy is big dog of the week after this week.
He's going to be mad, though. He already told us he doesn't want to be big dog.
He said Cologne. He didn't say any other team. He can't set stipulations on our awards. He doesn't get a say.
That's going to be a bloodbath.
Fair point. Okay, real quick though, boys. Which of these games do you think is going to be the biggest blowout of these four?
Nordic. I think they could put up 60 against Hamburg.
Paris, because Helvetic has nobody right now.
Hey, they're Burrell and Nash.
They're not playing this game though.
Yeah, they are.
They are?
I thought.
Oh, I thought that they were going to miss a week.
No, they'll play.
Oh, well then I'm going to go with Stuttgart versus Farivar then.
Okay. Tanner?
I still think, despite them having their guys, I think Paris is going to be the biggest blowout because there's so much chaos happening in Helvetic that I think the team's going to be so unprepared.
What's the combined score between Stuttgart, Nordic, and Paris?
200?
I'm going to go 187 to 17.
Well, we don't care about defense. Just give me offense. Like, just how many points are they going to score? I think it's going to be like 190. Give me, yeah I'm going 190.
Yeah.
I have a feeling they're going to break 200. I think they're going to make it happen.
All right. So we got 180, 190, and 200. So we'll just go that way. See who's closest.
Okay, fine. I'll say the 180, even though I said 187, but I'll say 180.
Sorry. The price is right.
So, fine. I'll take the 180. All right. Well, any last comments, fellas, before we end this very this has been an all over the place show today.
Which is fun. It's a little bit of fiasco.
Yeah, it's a very fiasco-esque. Very.
If you see me in Vienna, say hi. If you see me in Copenhagen, say hi.
Yes, Danny's going to have a great time on vacation. If you see me in Montreal, because that's where I'm going next week, don't say hi because I'm on vacation and I'm on my anniversary trip, and I will ignore you. So Danny and I are not the same on vacation.
I'm going for football. You're going for your wife.
Yes, I'm going for love and things that cannot be explicitly said on this podcast. So do not come say hi to me. I'm not interested in talking to you. If you see me in Europe, if I'm on my anniversary trip, do not come say hi to me.
He'd still say hi. Don't let him lie.
If you see me in Columbia, South Carolina,
then definitely go say hi to Tanner.
I'll be at work.
While you're there first.
Yeah.
Well, thanks so much, everybody, for listening. This has been Danny, Tanner, and Jordan. You can follow us at Fourth Down Fiasco on Instagram and TikTok. You can also follow us at @4thdown_pod on Twitter. But that's all we got for you today. We'll see you next week.
Hugs and kisses.
Peace.
Well, I like school, and I like football, and I'm gonna keep doing them both because they make me feel good.